Hello creative designers, thank you for watching Aero Productions. In today's photo editing tutorial, I am going to show you how to edit skin tones in Photoshop. So without further ado, let's jump in and edit this photo. So I will go to my local disk and drag my footage into Photoshop and allow it to load. Then there are a few things that I'm going to do on this photo, and including gradient mapping, selecting the colors and the curves and levels. Then you will of course understand at the end of this tutorial how to do that. First of all, I would like to remove these wordings here. So I will of course draw here a perfect rectangle, then just delete and fill it with content aware. Then it will automatically fill that with content aware. If you're new to this YouTube channel, I would like you to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Now the first thing I want to do is I want to have the gradient map. So I'll just click here and have gradient map. Then in this gradient I'll just double click here. Of course it will give me the shadows and the highlights. So here are the shadows and here are the highlights. So in the shadows I'll double click and I just need a cyan color. So of course I'll choose it from here and something a bit dark. That one will depend on the photo, so it's a matter of choosing the favorite color for your photo. Then for the highlights, I would like to pick some reds, so I will put on the web colors, and then when it is on the reds, I will choose something warm, just like this or this, so depending on your photo, but for today let me use this color. Then after everything is set, then I'll click OK, and I would now want to change this gradient map to, I would like to change its blending mode. So I'll go for blending options and change it to color, just like that. Then you see, if you look at this image, that you'll realize that that gradient map is everywhere and the image is not that beautiful. So what I'll do, I will reduce the opacity of this layer. Just come here and reduce it to something between 0 and 10, and of course it cannot be 0 so you choose between 8 and 10. That will be beautiful. The next thing I want to do is I want to have the selective color. Then when the selective color is on, I'll make sure that the colors that is selected is the reds, because the skin color of a human being is closer to the reds. So I want to, of course I hope you understand these colors, the cyan, magenta, yellow and black. Of course if you don't understand, you can look for some tutorials online and you'll find that. I don't have much time to go through this, but then I would like to reduce this some of this cyan to something like negative 36. Then the magenta also, I'll also reduce it a little bit, not that much. Looking at my image, of course you will play around with these figures to a favorite figure that will suit your image. Then for the blacks, I would like to increase them, not that much, but to something like 72. The yellows, maybe I can slightly reduce it, but not that much just like that. Then the next thing I want to do, of course you can see we are achieving something. Our image is a bit cute and natural. Then the next thing I want to do is to apply the curves, and in these curves I'll also want to regulate the amount of the red, the green and the blue in this photo. Then when the red, green, blue is selected, I just want to reduce to lower a bit of these shadows, just as like this, not that too much, but at least to something that is realistic. Then I would also want to increase some of these highlights, just like that. Then I would now want to go to the blues and change a bit of the blues. So I would just a bit increase this in the shadows and do something like that. So I'll deal with red, green, blue. Then after that I'll select the blue and change it to that. Then the next thing I want to do is to apply the levels. Then I want to, you see, just not that much, the level that is at the center, at least you play around with it and see where it suits your image. Then the shadows, of course, again, to just make them a bit darker, and maybe to return this to that point. Then although the image is a bit good, the last option is it's optional. You may want to do it or not, but again, I just need to do it for this tutorial. I'll apply vibrance and to increase a bit of it to something like, don't overdo it like some people do overdo it, but then I just need to have something like 10, and here something like 5. And of course, you can bear with me that this image is a bit cute and natural compared to what I had. So I want to check all these effects that I've added and just group them. You can group from here, or you just select and drag and drop it here so that you group them. So this is before and this is after. Again, this is before and this is after. Maybe I should zoom to her face so that you can see the change that I'm saying. So this is before and this is after. This is how I usually color grade my images, and sometimes share them on Instagram or do it for different people. I hope this tutorial was good for you, and if it does, then I would like you to subscribe to this YouTube channel. And in case you like this video, give me thumbs up. Otherwise, let's meet in the next tutorial.